Today, we're diving into a gripping psychological thriller called Trader. If you're into the stock market, or even just curious about it, this film is an absolute must-watch. It's intense, it's unpredictable, and it's packed with lessons that hit way too close to reality. Before we jump in, don't forget to smash that like button. It really helps this video reach more people, and if you enjoy the breakdown, just type yes in the comments below. Alright, let's not waste any time. Let's get started. The story opens in the basement of an apartment. A woman named Amanda sits alone, speaking on the phone. She introduces herself as someone from the credit card safety board and tells the man on the other side, Mr. Washington, that his account shows expensive purchases. Washington is confused and says he hasn't made any such transactions. His card is safe in his wallet. Amanda cleverly asks him to confirm his card details for security purposes. And Washington, without suspecting a thing, reads out both his card number and the 3-digit security code. Amanda immediately uses this information to order medicines online through a site called Pharma Phoenix, claiming she suffers from attention deficit disorder. Since the website requires a doctor's prescription, she forges a fake letterhead, writes down the medicines she needs, signs it under a false name, scans it, and uploads it to the site. Soon, the medicines are delivered right to her home. But Amanda doesn't stop there. Using the same stolen card, she begins ordering expensive products from another site, Zip Code. Once the packages arrive at her doorstep, she resells them on other platforms, making money without spending a dime of her own. By the end of it, Amanda has drained $7,490 from Washington's card. One day, while browsing the bank's website, a pop-up catches her eye. Achieve financial freedom. Open a trading account today. Amanda doesn't know much about trading or investing, but the message sparks her curiosity. To learn the basics, she orders a book on stock market fundamentals. The book explains that the market is a battle between bulls and bears. When you believe a stock's price will rise, you buy and go long. This is the bull rally. When you know it's going to fall, you sell or short the stock. This is the bear position. The key, it says, is managing your risks, because only then can you survive in the market long term. But the line that Amanda notices most is written boldly on the last page. Luck is the most important factor in winning. You can never defeat luck. She tears that page out. Amanda's curiosity deepens. She finds the contact details of the book's author, Emily Ross, and decides to call her. On the phone, Amanda questions Emily about why her book focused so heavily on long-term retirement investing instead of short-term strategies. Emily replies sharply, "You're talking about day trading, aren't you? Day trading is nothing more than a get-rich-quick scheme." It's like spitting on healthy financial growth, Amanda protests, saying she has read about many people online who got rich through day trading. But Emily responds firmly, "The internet is the biggest liar in human history. You called me for the truth, right? Well, here it is. 10 million fools walk into a casino." Amanda and Emily Rose are having a conversation. Emily gives an example, saying that, imagine everyone in a casino puts their money into the same slot machine, all hoping to win the jackpot. But in reality, who ends up rich? Amanda answers, "The casino." Emily snaps her fingers and says, "Boom! Exactly. That's how it works. In this game, the casino always wins." She then adds, "Now, imagine you're in a prison where you're the only one locked inside. That's the kind of life a day trader lives. As a day trader, you can't eat properly, you can't sleep, and you can't even blink. You constantly have to make decisions and take actions, and the game never stops. It only leaves you restless. Do you really want to live such a life?" Even after hearing all of Emily Rose's warnings, Amanda decides to go for day trading anyway because she wants to get rich fast. She even pins the last page of Emily Rose's book on the wall, which said, "You can't beat luck." Amanda then logs into a day trading app from her laptop and also joins a social media network called Market Mouth, where people discuss the stock market. On that platform, she follows an account named Bob the Broker, who had uploaded tutorials about candlestick charts and trading patterns. Amanda starts watching Bob's tutorials, memorizing the patterns, and following his rules. Finally, Amanda does her very first day of trading, but on day one itself, she faces a loss of $700. Furious at herself, she writes the result on a big sheet of paper. Every day, as her losses pile up, she writes "loser" on the paper. By the 18th day, things change. Amanda finally makes her very first profit. She writes "winner" on the paper and feels thrilled. After that, on the 20th day, 21st day, and several more trades, Amanda keeps making profits. Each time, she proudly writes "winner" on the paper. Now filled with confidence, she writes "real deal" on another paper, meaning she was ready to take on a big trade. Amanda decides to short the stock of a pharmaceutical company, believing its share price will fall. The next morning, she wakes up early and starts praying to God. She says, "Thank you, God, for sending me into this world with strength, for always looking after me, and for helping me survive in this cruel world." Delta Prex Pharmaceuticals has been running a clinical trial for an anti-cancer drug on 200 patients, and today the results will be announced. I've put everything I have into shorting this company's stock. I believe the trial will fail and the stock will collapse. After praying, Amanda even posts on Market Mouth using her profile name, Des. She writes, "I'm the only one who shorted Delta Prex Pharmaceuticals. I've put my money on the trial news. What do you guys think?" She then shorts 2,000 shares of Delta Prex. At 9:30 a.m., when the market opens, the stock starts forming a green candle and her losses begin to appear. Nervous, Amanda keeps watching. By 12:30 p.m., it's lunchtime in the market, and people on MarketMouth start mocking her decision, since the stock still hadn't turned red. Amanda grows restless as time slips away. In frustration, she starts hitting herself with a book. Suddenly, the Delta Prex stock forms a huge red candle. The price keeps crashing, and Amanda's position flips from loss to profit. News spreads quickly that Delta Prex's anti-cancer drug trial had failed. The company's stock continues to fall, and Amanda's profit target is achieved. On MarketMouth, everyone begins cursing the pharmaceutical company. Amanda, however, smiles with satisfaction, because among all those losers, she was the only winner. When the market closes at 4 p.m., Amanda writes down her achievement on a big sheet of paper. She had booked a profit of nearly $96. Later that night, while smoking a cigarette, Amanda receives a message on her laptop. It's from Bob the broker, the same man whose tutorials she had been following. Bob writes, "You made a really great call today. How long have you been trading?" Amanda replies, "I've been watching your tutorials for the past month. Today was my very first real trade. Impressed." Bob praises her and asks if she wants to come on video chat. Amanda responds, "My webcam is broken. Why don't we just talk on a call?" They start talking on the phone. During the call, Bob asks her, "How did you predict that the stock would fall today?" Amanda explains to Bob, "Usually, when pharmaceutical companies run clinical trials for their drugs, their stock prices rise. But if the results turn out to be bad, the stock crashes. I noticed that pattern, and that's why I shorted it." Bob then asks, "Did you pray to God this morning?" Amanda pauses, remembers, and replies, "Yes, I did." Bob presses further, "So what exactly did you ask from God that such a miracle happened?" Amanda answers, "That's between me and God. I can't tell you." Their conversation slowly drifts into sexual undertones. Bob says, "You have no idea what I'd do with you if you were here with me." Amanda teases, "And what would you give me in return?" Bob replies, "Tell me what you want." "Okay, let me share a secret with you. I really am a broker. I work with one of the world's most renowned private equity funds. Let me tell you something. Relying only on technical analysis in the market is extremely tough. The market really runs on greed, fear, and hype. So never buy into the hype. Create it yourself. That's the only way to protect yourself from getting burned." Hearing this, Amanda learns some valuable insights. Soon after, she sets up red and green lights in front of her PC, green for when she's in profit, and red for when she's in loss, believing it will help her stay more focused. Amanda then starts tracking pharmaceutical companies that had ongoing clinical trials with results due soon. She even begins collecting small pieces of information about them from the dark web. At the same time, she creates dummy accounts on MarketMouth and posts things like, "I've bought this company's shares because its trial results will be successful and the stock will rise." In this way, Amanda builds hype, luring people into buying, while she herself shorts the stock at inflated prices. And when the trial news turns negative, the stock plummets, leaving Amanda with big profits. During this period, Amanda stays in regular contact with Bob. She shares her analyses with him, and in return, he provides her with insider tips. To keep him interested and cooperative, Amanda often engages in sexual conversations with him as well. Now, living in her basement, Amanda isolates herself completely, focusing only on trading. She eats there, exercises there, and takes every possible step to control her emotions, consistently booking profits. One day, while going through her list of pharmaceutical companies, Amanda notices a familiar name, Cleanthrope. Curious, she looks at her own medicine bottle and realizes she had been taking their drugs herself. She visits the company's website and finds an audio file from the CEO. In it, the CEO announces that Cleanthrope will soon begin Phase 2 trials for a new drug designed for stress disorders, specifically targeting insomnia, anxiety, and chronic nervousness. The trial would involve 300 patients, and results were expected in about 9 months. Later, Amanda discusses trading again with Bob. Bob asks, "What did you do before trading?" Amanda confesses, "I was a sex worker. I was a victim of sex trafficking. They tattooed a barcode on my hand and auctioned me off to the highest bidder. Whoever paid the most would get me on rent. But when I finally escaped their clutches, I promised myself I would never be defeated again." Bob, surprisingly sympathetic, says, "I'm glad you managed to get out. Would you like to meet me and my boss for a meeting? But promise me you won't embarrass me." Amanda agrees, "Of course. I won't make any mistakes." Bob replies, "Good. Tomorrow, meet me at BPM for the meeting with my boss." The next morning, Amanda wakes up around 9:30 a.m. to heavy rain outside. Her house has no electricity, and she panics because she has to place a trade but can't. She calls the electricity board only to be told there are no power issues in your area. Frustrated, Amanda throws her phone. By the time power returns, it's already 4 p.m. and the market has closed. Shortly afterward, Amanda receives a furious message from Bob. He yells at her, blaming her for failing to execute the trade they had planned together. After insulting her for a while, Bob hangs up, leaving Amanda seething with anger at her own misfortune. Later in the movie, Amanda calls Bob back and says, "Can you help me with something? I need motivation. I need something, maybe some drugs, to help me stay in control. And please don't tell me you don't use anything." Bob says, "I've got LSD, PCP, DMT, and plenty of other drugs." But Amanda shakes her head and replies, "These are just mind-bending substances. I want something new, something far more dangerous." Bob then tells her, "There's one drug, but you'll have to make it yourself. It's called Bloody Sunday. This drug won't just give you a trip, it will take you beyond." Amanda quickly grabs a notebook and starts writing down the ingredients and instructions as Bob explains how to make it. Then she asks, "Has anyone ever taken it before? Do you know the results?" Bob smirks and says, "Yes. One of my guys sold it to a man. He injected about 20 cubic centimeters of it right after eating, and within moments he was dead. So, are you still willing to take it?" Amanda looks at the poster on her wall that reads "Winning Trade," and after a moment of silence, she answers, "Yes, I'll do it." She carefully mixes everything Bob had told her, creating the dangerous drug. Without hesitation, Amanda consumes it all. The effect is instant and violent. Her body loses control, her vision warps, and everything around her seems to move and shift on its own. Eventually, the high fades, and she wakes up in shock, covered in sweat. To her horror, she sees blood dripping from one of her hands, a knife clutched in the other. On the wall, arrows drawn in blood point towards something. Amanda follows them and finds a paper where, in her intoxicated state, she had scrawled, "Find John Hamilton." Even in her drug-induced haze, Amanda had been researching Clean Therapeutics, the company conducting clinical trials for trauma-related stress disorder. She immediately searches online for John Hamilton, but the name shows dozens of results. Confused, she wonders why she had written it. Then a memory clicks. She searches instead for John Hamilton death, and there it is. A news report states, 25-year-old Army soldier John Hamilton was killed in a police shootout. Authorities claim he was suffering from a mental breakdown. Amanda digs deeper and finds another report. John's mother insisted her son had no mental health history. His brother told the press, "My brother wasn't crazy." Looking back at the page, Amanda notices 3 letters scribbled behind John's name, CLN. Suddenly, she realizes John must have been connected to Clean Therapeutics' trial. She hacks into the dark web to find the list of people enrolled in the trial. Out of nearly 200 names, she spots it. John Hamilton. The company had previously announced that they were testing their drug on Army veterans. Now, everything made sense. Amanda smiles. She's just uncovered a huge lead. Excited, she finds John's mother's number and calls her, pretending to be Molly Reed from a law firm. Amanda gently asks what happened to her son. John's mother breaks down and says, "The police may have pulled the trigger, but the real killer was that pharmaceutical company. My son had just returned home after 2 tours in the Army. His hands would shake, nightmares haunted him every night, and he said even at home he could still hear bombs and gunfire. One day, police knocked on my door. They told me John had caused trouble at a mall. Before he could even react, they shot him dead." Amanda listens carefully, her mind racing with ideas of how to use this pain. Then she calls John's brother Jack. Still grieving, Jack is filled with anger. Amanda manipulates him, saying, "That pharma company will make billions from your brother's death. But what about John, who fought for our freedom? Don't you want revenge?" Jack answers, "Yes, I'm angry, and yes, I want revenge." Amanda whispers, "Then take it." Now fully fueling Jack's rage, Amanda digs into Clean Therapeutics' corporate details, the headquarters, the lobby, the layout. At 3 a.m., she calls Bob and tells him she has a stock tip. The results of Clean Therapeutics' clinical trial are about to be announced. Bob replies, "That's a $25 stock. So, up or down?" Amanda glances at a paper on her desk with Clean Therapeutics written across it. Then she lies, The stock is going up. I have contacts inside the Pharma Council. They leaked me the trial results. I've already sent you the copy. Bob checks it and asks, when will they announce it? Friday, Amanda replies. And if I'm right, you'll introduce me to your boss. Bob smirks. If you're right, I'll make sure everyone knows about you. That Monday, as the market opens, Clean Therapeutics stock shoots from $25 to $27. Bob immediately calls her. We've taken a huge position. My firm has bought shares, thanks to your tip. I even told my boss about you. By next week, you'll meet him later. Amanda dials Cold Creative Capital. A woman's voice answers, Welcome to Cold Creative Capital. Which department would you like to reach? Amanda says calmly, I want to speak with Mr. Cold about his daughter, Sydney. I saw her at an abortion clinic. Shocked, the call is transferred. Mr. Cold himself comes on the line. How do you know my daughter is pregnant? Amanda smirks. The internet is an educational place. You just need to know where to look. Now tell me, Robert Webb, also known as Rob the Broker, does he work for your company? Yes, Cold replies. He's my employee. Why? Amanda asks. Did Bob tell you that the Clean Therapeutics idea came from me? Cold frowns. And who exactly are you? Do you have any proof of what you're saying? Amanda leans back in her chair, confident. I knew Bob wouldn't tell you. But let me remind you, I'm the reason Bob made you so much money last quarter. Cold asks Amanda. You still haven't told me. What exactly do you want from me? Amanda replies firmly. The job Bob has right now, I want it. I want a senior position in your company. Did Bob tell you about the clinical trial result, the one I sent him? Cold nods. Yes, he did. And based on that result, I can confidently say Clean Therapeutics will reach $50. Amanda leans in and says, and what if I told you that after touching $50, Clean Therapeutics will collapse to just $3? Cold stares at her in disbelief. $3? That's a 90% drop. How can you possibly say that? Amanda smiles. Because I know. Cold shakes his head. Then I assume you're planning to short the stock heavily, but I trust my firm and my people. We've already taken a strong, long position. At $27 a share, we bought 1 million shares. And we'll be holding. Amanda responds, if that's the case, then Friday at 4 p.m., you'll call me. Friday morning, Amanda gets ready. She then calls John Hamilton's mother and says, the time has come. That very day, John's mother appears in front of the media. Tearfully, she declares, my son's death was caused by a clinical trial. The company Clean Therapeutics was experimenting on him. They gave him a drug that played with his mind. They didn't care about his life. Her emotional statement goes viral across the internet, spreading like wildfire. Soon, investors panic. By late morning, the company's stock price begins to fall as people rush to sell. At 12:30 p.m., Amanda calls John's brother Jack and tells him to go to a certain location. Jack follows her instructions and finds a package waiting for him. Inside are weapons. Amanda tells him coldly, now take this package and move toward your target. That same day, Clean Therapeutics CEO Patricia stands before the press, beginning her announcement. My name is Patricia, and I am the CEO of Clean Therapeutics. Before this conference begins, I want to make it clear, all the accusations against our company are lies. There was never anyone named John in our trial list. Whoever spreads false claims against us, we will see them in court. Meanwhile, Jack arrives at the company's headquarters. Whispering into his phone, he says, I'm here. Amanda instructs him, load your gun, use the fire exit, go up to the 7th floor. The top floor is the conference room. Everyone is there, the CEO, the board members. Punish those greedy people who ruined your brother's life. Inside, Patricia continues her speech, but suddenly, gunshots echo through the building. Jack storms into the conference room and opens fire, killing the CEO and the board members on the spot. The sound of gunfire spreads across Marketmouth forums. Did anyone hear that, hey? Shots at Clean Therapeutics conference. Investors panic further, and the stock price nosedives. Bob calls Amanda in shock. Did you see what just happened? Amanda calmly replies, you once told me, set the fire yourself so you won't get burned. You made the wrong bet, Bob. You kept buying when the time was to sell. Bob shouts, so all this was because of you? Amanda smiles. Good boy, Bob. She hangs up the call. By then, the stock plummets from $50 down to just $3. Amanda makes an enormous profit. At 4 p.m., she looks at her gains and tears roll down her cheeks. But these are not tears of pain, they are tears of joy. Amanda laughs uncontrollably, her victory overwhelming her. Later, she writes her winning result on paper, only to receive a call from Cold himself. I underestimated you, Cold says. You've done something extraordinary. Because of you, I lost about $15 million. Amanda replies calmly, and what if I told you I could make you back all that money by next Friday? Cold pauses, impressed. If you can do that, I'd be more than happy. I'm ready to offer you a high-ranking position at my company. Would you accept the job? Amanda smiles. Yes, I'm ready. Good, Cold says. Then meet me Monday morning, 9 a.m. at my office. That night, Amanda burns every piece of paper in her basement, all her records of wins and losses reduced to ashes. For the first time, she steps out of the basement, leaving her old life behind. And with that, the movie comes to an end. That was today's mind-blowing story. Now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments what shocked you the most. And let's set a big target today, 1,000 likes. If we hit that, I'll bring you another crazy story even wilder than this one. So don't forget, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next breakdown. Because trust me, the real thrill is still ahead, my friend.